Straight from the hip. All right, Real Talk Tuesday. Okay, brother. So let me just open this thing up. So, all right, welcome everybody to today's episode of Real Talk Tuesday. We have a phenomenal guy. I met him first on Instagram and reached out, and he was just too cool for school, so he decided to hit me back on his time. And eventually he did. And we actually ended up linking up, and the dude, I mean, energy. Like, every time I'm around Darius, I just feel, I literally leave, bro. No, I kid you not.
I appreciate it.
I feel that energy, and I mean, I even see, like, the effect with you around other people. Mm-hmm. And everyone just, like, gasses up. And so that's just something special about Darius. And so I had to have him on the show because he also had a really cool story as well. So let's start off with question number one. Who is Darius Coleman?
Whew. Again, I appreciate you inviting me, man. It was great meeting you as well. Sorry it took so long. But yeah, so who is Darius D. Coleman? Man, I am, how do I put this? Like you said, man, I'm just a positive person that just loves to live life, you know, from the big moment to the small moment. People ask me, you know, why am I so happy or how do I have this energy? It's because I wake up happy. You know, I wake up, you know, with the mentality of each problem or each thing that I go through is going to be worked out, or it's going to be something that is going to be fun for me. You know what I'm saying? My day is fun. I enjoy every part of the day. I enjoy the hard part, the easy part, the fun part, the long hours. So for me, it's just living. You know what I'm saying? I love the journey. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I have goals in mind and all that good stuff, but it's really just living it up, man. Living the day, sure. Day by day.
Day by day. All right, I love that. And I'm gonna have to, like, all right, there we go. Make sure you get no more calls through. Actually, I really love that. And so this wasn't one of my prepared questions, mm-hmm. but if you go through something difficult, how is that day still a good day, or how do you enjoy the day, or what's your process with that?
Well, so I've trained. Well, I don't know if I've trained myself or if it's just my mindset, but even with discussions or with arguments, you know what I'm saying, whatever you want to call them, I always try to make sure I'm seeing the other side of it, the other point of view. So for me, if it's a bad day, or if I'm in a discussion where I think of one side and someone else is thinking of the other, I know I'm not the smartest person in the world. I know that there's nothing's new under the sun, right? So it's already been done, right? So I know that there's the knowledge or the information is already out there. So just because I think of one way doesn't mean that you can't think another way, right? So for me, I always think, even if I think it's something, I love the Seahawks, right?
Yeah.
But I know that there's another team better, right? So I think...
Especially this season.
It hurts. It hurts, trust me. Especially this season. So for me, I always think I try to. Now, it doesn't always work out, but I always try to think in the other person's perspective. Or I always try to be devil's advocate. So for me, I'm never set in stone, even though I might be set in stone with my beliefs. I always, there is other avenues to that belief.
So like staying open.
Staying open, yes. I think that's what I do to make sure I'm moving forward, and that's how I stay with that's how I improve on either the hard day or the hard conversation or whatever the case may be. Is I make sure I'm able to see the other side. So when someone is talking to me, like for example, me and you, if you're like, no, I believe this is this, I go, okay, let me think of that way before no, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? Before that, right? So, and then I accept it, you know what I'm saying? Just because, because I might not know, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're the professional lender. I'm going to accept your information. Now, mind you, will I go back, check it later on if I'm questioning it? Of course, but I'm going to accept it because that's what you believe, right?
Word.
So.
Word, okay, I like that. It kind of, I'm going to take an attempt at a metaphor that's just kind of popping into my mind. But when you were talking about having an idea but staying open about it, kind of made me think of so I just got two little puppies, Bolt and Balto. They're crazy.
Right.
Balto right now, he's behaving. Bolt is just a little poopy Bolt because he freaking has been pooping in his kennel and it's a problem.
Yep.
But what I think about is looking at if they're in their crate that we put them in, and the dog being an idea, and the crate being how we feel about the idea. So it's like, if that crate is so ironclad that we're not willing to consider anything outward, then we can get backed into the little crate to where now your back's against the wall. Now you got to get defensive. Now you got to get the fangs out because you feel like you got to fight because you have nowhere else to go.
Right.
But if you stay open And so say a situation presents itself, you feel like there's only one way to solve it. But if you stay open to consider, there might be a different idea, there might be something better, there might be someone smarter. You're literally opening up the back of the crate yourself. So now you don't have to get defensive and fight. You can consider another option and get out.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying, be a free little puppy running around.
It's just like with anything. Just life is not one way, you know. So just because you're going one way doesn't mean someone else isn't going the right way either. You know? So it's like, how can I sit there and say my way is right when all of us are living in this world, right?
Yes,
you know what I'm
sir.
saying? It's not my world, it's all of our world, you know.
That is true.
So that's how I think of it.
That is true. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate. Look at this, real talk.
Real talk. You know,
huh?
I try, man. You know,
I like that. All right, question number 2. So
bring it.
When you were coming up, what did you want to be? Were you going to be, hey, I'm going to be a big time realtor from age 8?
Not at all. But from age 7, so for me, man, it was, I grew up, you know, a sports guy, obviously typical sports guy, played football my whole life, and that's what it was, you know. It was, you know, as a kid, I was like, I'm going to make it to the league. I'm going to be a football star, all that stuff. But then obviously my mom, you know, thank you for, you know, bless her heart, for she instilled in me to always have a plan B. So at age 7, which it was still young, at age 7, somehow my mom, well, she was actually a picture book that she has at our childhood home. She had a picture book there where the father in the family was an architect. And I asked her at 7 years old, what does an architect do? She told me, they design and build, homes. And so then from that point, I asked her, can they make a lot of money? She said yes. They work hard, that whole typical thing. And I was like, okay, one day I'm going to be an architect. Got my degree in architecture. It was kind of a funny story with that is obviously, again, that was plan B. Even though it's a, real profession, it's, serious, it's, 5-year program. It was plan B for me. Like, it wasn't, I'm going to be, from 7 years old, like, I'm an architect. It was, okay, I'm going to be an architect. Put that on the back burner. Now let's go focus on football, right? Obviously, I needed football. You needed your education. You needed, a certain, GPA. So I knew to be a good student as well, obviously. So I made sure I was staying on top of my grades because my mom would let me anyway.
Hey, good facts.
So that was definitely a thing too. But for me, it was, sports. And then obviously, as I knew real estate or, not real estate, architecture would be my degree going to college, right? Because obviously, our day, college was still a thing. Obviously to this day, day and age now.
People now, I mean,
it's just the experience, But when I was going to school, like, you had to go to school to even play football, to even play basketball. Like, there wasn't going straight out of college. That was a rare thing. What I'm saying? Only Kobe and LeBron were doing that. You know what I'm saying? And that was rare. So obviously, it was going to college. Went to college, played football, had a blast, loved the college experience. But then when I graduated, so my first day of school, it was, I went in, had my professors, great professors, by the way. They kind of asked us, what do we want to do with their architecture? I was like, man, I want to design homes. He basically, real blunt, because, these aren't just teachers like, make sure you're doing good. These are your professors, right? So he was real blunt about it and goes, why the F are you here? He's like, you can go do that right now. Now, mind you, plan A was football, so obviously I needed college for plan A. So I was like, okay. I was like, well, I'm not going anywhere. So then I had to learn about high rises, structure, basically all that stuff, which was mind blowing, right? Put me into a whole nother atmosphere. And after I graduated, that I probably applied to 80 to 100 firms in 2015. No hits. It was either competitive or firms were looking for licensed architects, which I wasn't licensed. You had to go through your hours, you had to get, that under your belt, and then you had to take a 7-part test to even be licensed architect, right? So it's a lot, right? Exactly. So it was a lot. So, okay, then that kind of fell through, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, I need a job to, put money in my pocket, and I landed, sometimes it's who you know too, right? So a good friend of mine was a manager at Nordstrom's, and I jumped into the sales role, and that's where I learned sales, and that's when I was like, and then to be honest, just to be frank, probably Nordstrom till this day, besides real estate, was probably the funnest job I've had, right? Because it was just fun, right? It was, you got on the floor, and you sold, right? You were talking to clients, you're having fun with them, you're making their day, right? Because they were buying something that they really wanted or whatever it was. So it was real fun, real competitive, friendly competition. So and it was real nice. So that was cool. And then finally, I was, again, to someone who I knew, he helped me get into construction management. So I wasn't exactly on the real estate side, I mean the architecture side, but I was on the other side because that's just where, you know, construction was going, right? Where it was the general contractors were kind of leading the role, and you know the architect kind of just was a position of that. So I went into that, did that for 3 years, and COVID hit.
Boom.
So COVID hit, and then, you know, obviously no one really knew what to do. Well, obviously when COVID first happened, and obviously I got let go with that, just because, you know, obviously production fell out, you know, work, you know, stopped or slowed down. And then so obviously they had to cut their team, which it hurt a little bit. It stung a little bit too, you know, feel that that they let me go, but it is what it is. And then talking to my friends and family, they said, you know, I kind of was like, man, what's the next thing? Because I didn't know what to do now. I was like, man, what am I going to go into? What should I do next? And then finally my friend was like, man, you'll be great at real estate. And I love homes. So, you know, it all started, you know, at 7 years old was homes, you know. My first day in college was homes, you know, to bring it all back to full circle.
Building things.
Building things. I love the, you know, design. So now it was, okay, it made sense. It was okay. So I joined Rockwell, got my license, and now we're here.
Here we go. Wow. Yeah. Well, so 1 second, big shout out to Nordstrom's.
Yeah.
I've met like every time I go into a Nordstrom's, like, They definitely come with that energy, but I've even met other people within real estate where Nordstrom's was like their foundation for sales. So I was like, so whatever they're doing, they have a really good system to produce.
Well, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They've been in sales probably for, I mean, I'm not going to fact check them. I don't know exactly, but they started with doing shoes and then it just expanded.
It spread out. And you know, and as the funny thing is, like, another thing I like to tell people is, especially when it comes to like price or competing on price, and sometimes they'll people like that want you to cut your commission down to $2 to do a deal, you know, and I'm like, you want to go to Walmart or do you want to have a Nordstrom experience?
Yeah, there you go. Ooh, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can get a t-shirt from Walmart. If you want to go get a t-shirt from Walmart, get a t-shirt. I do not, save money, live better, do your thing. But there is a reason that people still shop at Nordstrom's, and there is a reason that Nordstrom's is still a powerhouse in clothing. And
their base model, I mean, when I was there, I mean, I won't say what they are, you know, what they're doing now, but the base structure was customer service. Provide customer service was number 1 and number 2.
Come on.
So,
and if not number 3 was number 1.
Exactly.
Okay.
No, all about customer service.
That's a big fact. And then so it's like that concept of niches get riches. When your focus is customer service, making sure that your client you set the right expectations for here's what the home buying process is going to look like. And oh, by the way, if you ever have a question, give me a call. Give my loan partner a call. You will be taken care of at every step of the way. That kind of experience versus all right, you're under contract and then now you can't find your lender because they're in Alaska under a rock or igloo, and they're not going to call you until the loan closes. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of experience do you want? You can get it cheap. You know what I'm saying? There are people that would do it for less.
Right.
You save money, but I'm not sure how much better you'll be living.
Exactly. It's on, like you said, the whole Nordstrom to Walmart comparison was perfect.
Bro.
Perfect.
Bro.
Definitely using that.
No, that's a gem though. Like your story even of to be focused on, all right, well, you got your plan B, you're doing your sports, so you're giving all to sports, and then you had to adjust. Then you went to architecture. Then you had to, you said what? You applied to 80
to 100 firms.
80 to 100 firms.
In 2015, yep.
Hustle.
All across the country too. Like, I didn't want to come, so obviously I love Seattle, I love home base, but I went to school out of state, and I love the experience of meeting new people, right? Yeah. So I was like, man, how can I do this again? So I applied to New York, to Texas, to California, to Florida, everywhere but Seattle. And I'm back in Seattle. And I'm back.
And there must be well, you found real estate.
Yeah.
I
found real estate. You know, the thing is, to be honest with you, I feel, I'm home, right? You know, when you're home, you feel comfortable. And then like with Seattle, obviously it's not the big city. It's not New York. It's not California. But, we're the small comfortable, like, we're the tech world, you know what I'm saying? We got Microsoft here, we got Boeing here, we got Amazon here, you know what I'm saying? And we probably got, 10 others.
Right.
So we're the tech world to where we know how to function on our own. We don't need, everybody to where we can survive. And then obviously we're a city that, we thrive, man. So like, our summers are amazing. So it's just, now it's hard to leave, because we have everything. We have the work, we have the workflow. We have the business mindsets here. We have the tech world here. We have, multiple jobs. You can work for Amazon, you can work for Microsoft, you can work for Facebook, you can work for Boeing. You know what I'm saying? So the opportunities are just endless in Seattle. So now it's hard to even leave.
I feel you. Oh, that's great. So it's like you weren't planning to come back.
I knew if I came back, I wasn't going. It would be hard to get back out.
All right, and here you are. I love it. All right, bet. And so, actually, though, that's a perfect transition, because I was going to ask about how you became a realtor, but we talked about that already.
Yep.
So now that you're an agent working in Seattle, Washington State, what drives you? What is your end game?
My end game is success, really. And what is success to anyone, right? For me, it's I want to live my life, to where, and that's kind of the reason why I got into real estate, because real estate, obviously, I get to work with clients, I get to service them and help them, which is amazing to me. To be able to, it's almost life-changing, right? A house is a big deal. A house is, it's not, just going to a store and buying a house, right? You got to, really put in the work in, make sure the family loves it, make sure they love it, your client loves it. And I love, having that feeling to where I help someone find their dream home, or their first home, or their forever home, right? So I love that feeling is one. And then for me, it's being free of a schedule, right? To where I get to live my schedule.
Yes, sir.
I get to live through the journey. And then obviously, of course, I want houses myself. I want to, live free, really. To be honest with you. I mean, if that makes sense, I want to, I want it all, man. To be honest with you, I want to be modest, to not be.
Not be. This is not.
I want it all.
Hey, this is Real Talk Tuesday, and you got to clap with it. Okay? So
Real Talk Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
No, but I want it all. To be honest with you,
Obviously,
I'm not trying to be the richest man in the world or anything like that, but I want to live how I want. I want to be able to, living with the single parent home, with just my mom and my brother. I saw how my mom struggled. I saw my mom working 2 jobs. So for me, obviously I want to help my mom get whatever she wants. She's retired now, so all she wants to do is travel. So I want to help her do that. Yeah. But I want to be able to do the wants in my life, right? To where I want to be able to travel when I want to travel. I don't want to have to, I gotta go to work because of this. Now, obviously, what I do now is I don't even consider work. What I'm saying? Because I'm having so much fun. It's what I want to do. Yes. And I'm, like I said, I wake up happy because I know I'm doing what I want to do, right? So for me, it's I want what I want. I want it all.
That. Yes, sir.
Not what I need. Of course, what I want. And that's the travel, to see the world, to because for me, we only live once. So it's like 100%. Whatever that end game is it if am I in a mansion? Maybe not. Or do I still have a crazy apartment in the city? I don't know. But maybe I have both. It's just I want what I want to live. And I'm not trying to live crazy, have all the, a Lamborghini and all that stuff. I don't need none of that. But I just want to be able to do what I want when I want at any time.
That's 100%. That's freedom.
Exactly.
That's freedom. And I love
financial freedom, financial literacy, all that. I want to know. I want the knowledge. I want it all. So
I want the wants. Think about that. Hey, and you know what? They say if your vision doesn't scare you, then you need to get a bigger vision. So
exactly.
I like that. Bro. That's amazing. All right, so, I hope you guys appreciated this episode of Real Talk Tuesday. If you got any follow-up questions or you want to know more in detail just about the real estate market, or maybe you want a tour of Bellevue or Seattle, all right, follow my boy. Your Instagram handle, the D-Time Experience. The
D-Time Experience, man. Join me. You'll be in the life of me, and we'll kind of just go all over the place. I do listing tours. I do kind of it all, man. I do it all. So you'll see, I do suits. We're wearing suits right now. So Self-Made Couture, go follow them as well. And yeah, there's a lot more coming in the new year. You'll see me and him doing a lot more stuff. he's definitely someone that, I look forward to, connecting with even more. So yeah, just, be ready. Just be ready.
Hey, be ready. Hey, and we didn't even talk about it either. So we'll probably do this another time, but he not only sells real estate, helps with selling your house, helping you buy your house, but he also sells suits as well. That's why he's so fresh. So if you need that hookup, or you know somebody that's in the business world and you're working at one of these tech spots, or actually, screw that, I know you tech people aren't wearing suits anymore. You guys are going in pajamas now.
Hit me up, D-Time Experience.
Yes, sir.
My name is D-Time. Everyone, if you know what I'm saying, if you're my friend, you know what I'm saying, D-Time is what you call me. That's just been my name since 7th grade, since I was a kid. And then, it's always stuck with me. And then obviously, the suit game is Self-Made Couture. Go follow them as well. And if you need any help, it's fully custom, fully tailored, all the way from head to toe. And it's it's your vision. That's the reason why it's called Self-Made, is because you get to design your suit. So
amazing.
Holla at me.
Love it. Let's do it. All right, y'all. Appreciate you for taking the time to watch to this far. If you found something valuable, found something shareable, share it with a friend. Hit up my boy on Instagram, and we'll see you next Tuesday. All right. Take care.
Real Talk Tuesdays.
Real Talk Tuesday. Clap it up. Yes, sir.